Hello and welcome back to 101 Sports. I'm now joined by Tim Kraus and Jared Kimball to discuss what has been a very entertaining NHL playoffs. So guys, let's get things started. What team that is currently trailing in the series has the best chance of coming back?
I got to go with the New York Rangers. They are right now trailing the Washington Capitals 2-1, and they just played in Madison Square Garden last night. They won in a thrilling game. They have another home game tomorrow night. I think this team can come back simply because the only reason the Capitals are ahead is play of goalie Braden Holtby. He cannot keep this up. He cannot play that well. He finally looked human last night. I like the Rangers to come back.
I really like that pick, but I'm going to go with the Montreal Canadiens. In this season, they had 29 wins, and 13 of them were when they came back from trailing during the game. I think they need to contain Erik Karlsson, which is a huge part of their game. They need to be really disciplined because they've taken 115 penalty minutes.
They have, and that's exactly
in 3
why.
games.
That's exactly why I wouldn't be picking the Canadiens. They have been frustrated with how physical Ottawa's playing with them. When they get frustrated, they tried to match Ottawa physically, and it didn't work. They gave Ottawa 11 penalties in Game 3. Until they show that they can be calm and physical at the same time, I wouldn't pick the Canadiens.
I think Carey Price is a great goaltender.
He has
needs to play up to his ability, and if he does, I think the Canadiens can win. I think it's going to go to 7, and I think the Canadiens are going to get it.
Well, both the Rangers and the Canadiens need to step up their play to get out of the hole, but what player specifically needs to step up his game for his team to be successful moving forward in these playoffs?
Well, I'm going to go with Alexander Ovechkin. He is a huge factor for his team, the Washington Capitals. He's scored 22 goals in the Capitals' last 21 games, and in those games, they were 16-3-2. It just shows how important he is. He needs to keep on playing the same game. You saw in Game 1, they were down, losing 1-0 to the Rangers. He scored a goal, got his team hyped up, and they ended up winning the game.
He did, and he also got a point in their second win, Game 2. So you can make the argument that he is playing well. I think there is a level he can take it to, but I don't know. I'm going to go with the guy who you mentioned in the last question, Carey Price. For the Montreal Canadiens, they need him to play well. It is playoff hockey. You cannot win in the playoffs unless your goalie is playing well. Right now in the playoffs, he only has an .879 save percentage. Simply isn't good enough. If Montreal wants to advance, they need Carey Price to step up.
Well, both those teams you mentioned do have a lot of weaknesses as well. So we're looking at teams that are most likely to make it out of the first round. What team do you think should be most worrisome about one of their main weaknesses moving forward?
I got to go with the Pittsburgh Penguins and their ability to keep the puck out of their net. They dominated Game 1. They were the best team on the ice in Game 1. Game 2, they had a 3-1 lead. They blew it, and they lost. Game 3, they went into the third period ahead by 2 goals. They gave up the lead. They ended up winning in overtime, but they still blew the lead. It came very close to blowing it. That's got to be worrisome for Penguins fans. Right now, the defense isn't good, and when you go up against a better team that can play defense better than the Islanders, they might struggle.
Yeah, I'm a Penguins fan, and I'm worried. So
you should be.
I'm going to go with the other big team. It was a huge storyline this season, which was the Blackhawks, and their power play has been struggling a lot. They're 1 of 9 in 3 games in the series. They only got 1 shot on 4 power plays in the last game. They've been playing awful, and in the last 18 games that they've played, they've only scored power play goals in 3 of them. So that's 15 games.
Their power play has been really bad. That's obviously a big problem for them, but they're the best team in the NHL on 5-on-5. They scored the most goals and had the highest goal differential on 5-on-5. They're a team that's so good 5-on-5, you can kind of forgive the power play.
But when it comes down to it, special teams is the most important thing in the NHL playoffs, so that's why I think they need to improve their power play.
They do. I think they will be fine, though.
Well, both those teams do have some weaknesses, but boy, do they have a lot of strengths as well.
Oh, yeah.
But the NHL playoffs, obviously, probably the best playoff system we have, but it's not complete without the traditions. So, guys, what's the best playoff tradition?
Well, I'm going to go one with shaking hands at the end of each series.
Classic.
I just really love this. No other sport does this.
Unless you're Sean Avery.
The NFL does go out and shake hands, but they get to choose who they want to shake hands with. The NHL, each player has to shake every person's hand. So there's those guys that got gritty during the series, and then they're going out and showing their respect to each other. And it's just really nice.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. It's classy. After going to battle with these guys in a 7-game series, why not shake their hands? I like the playoff beards the most. That's really cool. I mean, it's always funny seeing when rookies, like 19-year-old guys, try to grow up playoff beards and it fails miserably. And I love seeing that. Like the Stanley Cup champion, if you're a fan of the Stanley Cup champion, you can barely recognize the guys when they're clean-shaven the next year. Yeah. I like the beards. It's just a cool tradition, but NHL hockey, so many great traditions.
Well, luckily for us, we will not be growing any 101 Sports playoff
Yeah.
gears. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this block. Please stay tuned as Matt Dowdle will talk with some of our NFL experts about the upcoming season.